The total population in Egypt was at 98 million people in 2018, according to the latest census figures. Looking back, in the year of 1960, Egypt had a population of 27 million people. Egypt ranks number 14 among 196 countries. The population of Egypt represents 1.2% of the world's total population, which arguably means that 1% in every 84 people on the planet is a resident of Egypt. The GDP in Egypt expanded 5.40% year-on-year in the second quarter of 2018, the same as in the previous period. GDP growth rate in Egypt averaged 4.07% from 1992 until 2017, reaching an all-time high of 7.70% in the fourth quarter of 2007 and a record low of negative 3.80% in the first quarter of 2011. Egypt has one of the most developed and diversified economies in the Middle East. Until 2010, Egypt's economy was growing an average 5% a quarter as a result of several economic reforms attracting foreign investment. During that time, the economy and the living standards for majority of population improved. Yet, living conditions for the average Egypt still remain poor and large income disparities continue to grow, leading to public discontent.
Gross domestic product of Egypt grew 5.3% in 2018 compared to last year. The GDP figure in 2018 was $249,000 million. Egypt is number 45 in the ranking of GDP of the 196 countries that we publish. The GDP per capita of Egypt in 2018 was $2,573, $78 higher than in 2017. It was $2,495. To view the evolution of the GDP per capita, it is interesting to look back a few years and compare this data with those of 2008, when the GDP per capita in Egypt was $2,270. Agriculture contributes 11.49% of the GDP and employs 24.48% of the active population. The main crops are cereals, cotton, sugarcane, and beetroots. Egypt's non-oil industry remains rather limited. The industry sector employs a quarter of the workforce, with automotive manufacturing, steel manufacturing, cotton cultivation, textile production, and the construction industry. The secondary sector accounts for 33.75% of the GDP. In spite of economic diversification efforts, the country continues to depend on the Suez Canal for a large part of its foreign income. Finally, the services sector represents 55.3% of the Egyptian GDP and employs nearly half of the population.
The unemployment that happened in Egypt. Based on the graph, we can see that on current year of 2018, the percentage of unemployment in Egypt is high, which is 11.436%. Besides, we want to find the highest percentage of unemployment in Egypt, and we found that on 2013, it shows the highest percentage of unemployment that occurred in Egypt, which is 13.154%. Other than that, there is the lowest percentage of unemployment that occurred in Egypt. But before that, I would like to explain about some factors that make the problem of unemployment in Egypt occur. First of all, it is because Egypt is having overpopulation of people in the country. The population of people increases year by year, so job opportunity can be created same proportion, so a huge percentage of people remain unemployed. Next, education is also the main reason that makes people in Egypt are being unemployed. Subjects which are taught at school, college, or university are not compatible or not related or not at the level of present job requirement. Mismatch between skills needed in job market and skills provided by Egyptian education system. There is huge gap between what students study and what requirement for getting job. Students are studying some superficial subjects and they're only running back to get high marks sometimes without understanding the subject itself. A lot of higher educated persons fail to manage job and a lot of graduates are unable to find job which relates with their study. One of the major causes of unemployment is falling economy. Government unable to fix up realistic fiscal policy, recession all over the world. And here it is, the lowest percentage of unemployment that occurred in Egypt is 7.95%, which is on 1999. As we can see, there are a lot of causes for unemployment which affects rigorously and bring new problems every moment. The unemployment has nasty impact on society, economy, and health. An unemployed person who does not have any job, so it financial losses for the unemployed workers and individual losses his or her productivities and the back effect of national gross domestic productivity. National economy suffers because of lower input. Due to unemployment problems and unemployed persons, overall tension increase which may affect his or her physical such as blood pressure, depression, diabetes, and mental health like grief, anxiety, lost interest in life, and those physical and mental problems may affect or spread negative attitude his or her other family members, and when these problems spread to other family members, it may lead turmoil, quarrels, arguments, develop negative attitude towards common things in life. So now, let me explain a little bit about the inflation that occurred in Egypt. On 2017, it shows that the percentage of inflation that happened in Egypt is high, which is 29.502%. In fact, in 2017, it is the highest percentage of inflation that occurred in Egypt among all the years. The main cause of Egypt's inflation is not the devaluation or fuel price hikes. It is rather the rapid expansion of the money supply over the past few years. Since the 2011 uprising, successive governments, not wanting to further anger an already rebellious population, ran huge budget deficits that they have financed in effect by printing money. This has resulted in too much cash chasing too few goods and services, pushing prices up. At the same time, this expansion of the money supply caused the pound's value to fall against the dollar and other currencies. It is why the central bank was forced to devalue in November. Based on the graph, the lowest percentage of inflation that occurred in Egypt is on 1973, which is long time ago, where the percentage is 5.112%. As we all know, that the previous percentage of inflation in current year have the same percentage with the highest one. So there is the second highest percentage of inflation that happened in Egypt in 1986, which is 23.864%.
Impact of inflation in Egypt imposes welfare costs on society, impedes efficient resource allocation by obscuring the signaling role of relative price changes, inhibits financial development by making intermediation more costly, hits the poor disproportionality, and reduces long-term economic growth. Both percentage of unemployment and inflation that happen in Egypt are very high. It shows that the problems of inflation and unemployment that occur in Egypt should be solved as soon as possible. Those problems can be solved based on monetary policy and fiscal policy. If the problems can be solved, the economy of Egypt will become stable.